A verdict in the retrial of comedian Bill Cosby. The man has now been found guilty on all charges against him. Guilty in the sexual assault trial that had been brought by Andrea Constand. A panel of 7 men and 5 women sequestered for the duration of the trial came back to ask questions of the judge this morning. They listened to some of the testimony back, and as our Brian Yennis has just reported from the courtroom in Norristown, Pennsylvania, the jury has reached a unanimous verdict. Guilty on all charges. Brian Yennis live on scene for us yet again. Brian, what's happening inside the courtroom now?
Well, from what we can understand right now, I mean, it's got to be, we're trying to get information from our in court from our producer that's inside right now. But that decision has just come out. Right now, what we're about to see is obviously both sides come out of this courtroom. They'll give their statements outside of this Montgomery County courthouse here in Norristown, Pennsylvania. But again, wow, just a stunning verdict. I think what we were talking about here is this all came down to the issue of consent. For the prosecution, their whole story was, Andrea Constand, do you believe her or do you not? Do you believe that she was sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby at his home in 2004? She said that she never gave him consent. You had the deposition from 2005 in which Bill Cosby said that he was somewhere between permission and rejection, that he never gave a verbal say or never heard her say anything during the course of their sexual act. Remember, both sides agree that there was a sexual relationship. It's whether or not there was consent or not, and obviously this jury found that there was not.
I've just gotten a dispatch, Brian, from Lissa Kaplan, who's our producer inside the courtroom, on details of what's been happening in there. And Brian, once you see Lissa, if she can come talk to us, that'd be great. Lissa writes to us, after approximately 14 hours of jury deliberation, the jury has reached a verdict. Andrea Constand is in the courtroom, sitting in the first row behind the prosecutors. The DA Steele was speaking to her before the judge and jury entered. Andrea Constand's lawyer was in the courtroom as well. And while they were waiting for the jury and the judge to enter, Bill Cosby was sitting quietly at the defense table, looked like his eyes were closed. Again, this is according to the reporting of our longtime producer, Lissa Kaplan. At 1:45 p.m. this afternoon, so 8 minutes ago, the 6 alternates were led into the courtroom A. They sat in the back row of the courtroom, and then they began reading the counts. Count 1. Aggravated indecent assault against Bill Cosby, a felony in the 2nd degree. And the decision was that Bill Cosby did engage in penetration, however slight, of the private parts of the complainant, to wit, Andrea Constand, with a part of the defendant's body for any purpose other than good faith medical, hygienic, and law enforcement procedures without the consent of the complainant. That's the legal way of saying he sexually assaulted her. Count 2, aggravated indecent assault. Did engage in the same acts, to wit, Andrea Constand, for the purpose other than good faith medical and otherwise. And in the 3rd count, he is guilty of aggravated indecent assault, a felony in the 2nd degree. Did engage exactly as stated in the previous ones, and Bill Cosby has been found guilty on all charges.